All right. Hello, everybody. It's Wednesday. Holy smokes.
Wednesday again, yep.
It is Wednesday. This is Scott. This is the PrepperCon Radio Hour with my awesome sidekick. I'm going to demote him today.
That's fine. That's fine. We argue about all kinds of things, you know. Even though we may be similar-minded, you know, just like any married couple, you know.
We're absolutely on the same page about almost everything prepper-related.
Except for maybe this topic today.
Today is the Brothers in the Backyard Brawling show. We are going to be talking about one of our favorite topics, guns, prepper guns, concealed carry situations. But before we get into that, I just want to give a shout out to Operation Underground Railroad. We've been talking about them a lot. We had our big fundraiser event last week. I don't even know what the final numbers are right now, but going into the event Friday night, that fundraiser to help save children from child sex trafficking, we were over $61,000.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, and there's still a few checks still coming in. So I want to thank everybody that made that possible. It was just a phenomenal event. We had Attorney General Sean Reyes there.
He was awesome.
He's funny. He actually just started throwing down beats on the microphone and started rapping for everybody. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see him do that in court.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that he had gone on one of the missions with OUR.
Yeah.
Their experience that they talked about, his story about relating that on that mission was very cool.
Totally awesome.
Very cool.
So if you want information on what's going on with that, if you're like, what the crap are these guys talking about, go to OUR Rescue, just like our rescue.org. Check out their website. Donate if you can. Get involved. We can do community fundraisers anywhere. I'm not a member of the company, but I'm one of the grassroots community organizers. We just love helping these guys help kids. It's awesome. They've actually partnered with the Elizabeth Smart Foundation.
That's right, yeah.
And they help, once these kids get out, they help rehabilitate them, get them reintegrated with their family if they can return to the family, if it's safe. They're just really awesome.
And we will continue to support OUR throughout the years with PrepperCon. That's one of our missions, is to continue to raise money through our efforts, through our expos, and really everything we do to continue to contribute toward this cause.
Absolutely. So today, again, this is PrepperCon Radio. This is the coolest radio show, in my opinion, on the air,
Oh yeah,
anywhere.
of course.
And today we are going to be talking to a really cool friend of ours. This is Brian. He's actually the owner-operator over at the Armory shooting range.
Hey Brian.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Good. So glad to have you on today. Seriously excited. My last handgun purchase was over at the Armory, and there's still little bitter feelings there apparently.
I'm jealous too.
Yeah, there are.
So I bought your M&P 9mm. It was your range gun.
Yeah.
But you guys had decked it out with a nice Apex trigger, and that thing is the sweetest thing to pull. And well, my last time taking it out at 21 feet, I was grouping in about a silver dollar. It was.
Yep, that's.
I was like, wow. I normally carry my concealed carry is an LC9. I love it, but in a pressure situation when I'm shooting, I'm within 12 inches all the time.
If you want to have
long trigger
fun,
pull.
you need to have a bigger gun like that M&P.
So enough about me. Let's talk. We're going to get into it today.
Yes.
So how did you come up with the idea to start your own range?
What's your background?
So background is so I majored in military history. I tried to to join actually the military when I was 18. I was not able to because of some medical things. But really, why we started the Armory was we went to a lot of different ranges. You know, just shooting, having fun, and didn't really like the atmosphere. Didn't like a lot of the customer service, the way people are treated, talked down to. So one thing that we focus on at the Armory is treating people how they want to be treated out there, answering all the questions that we can, realizing that, you know, there are going to be people that know more about guns than us.
Right.
But just really trying to focus on the training and helping people find the firearm that is right for them.
So needless to say, you're a gun guy.
Yes.
And you wanted to join the military, and you kind of found your niche. Like, well, this is what I meant to do, is what I need to do here, is kind of help educate the public and provide them a good, safe place to shoot, and that's a good product.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah,
Awesome. You know, I didn't join the military. I'm not a military historian either. I am, you just call me a concerned citizen. I feel like it's our civic duty, our civic responsibility to take control of our lives as best we can. and just get engaged. So today we are going to be talking about guns. So if you're not into guns, or you think guns are crazy, or that we're crazy, stay tuned, because we might change your mind. But if you are into guns and you think we're awesome, stay tuned, because it's going to get fun from here. For those of you listening online, our website, k-talk.com, you can stream us all the time. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's simply at KTKK. Instagram, K-Talk Radio, and of course, Facebook, KTKK, K-Talk Radio.
Yeah, PrepperCon on Facebook, as well as
PrepperCon USA on Twitter.
preparedguy.com, as well as on Facebook, and
so
follow us.
Let's jump back at the Armory. What's your website and where's your location?
Website is armoryshootingrange.com. That's quite a long website, but that's what it is, armoryshootingrange.com. And our location is 9210 South, 248 West in Sandy, Utah, right next to the Classic Fun Center.
Nice, and that's just that frontage road right there off the freeway.
Yes.
On the east side. Great range. I mean, you guys have pretty much everything state of the art. Like,
we tried. Yeah.
We tried. As good as it gets. I actually took family in there a while ago. My parents and some aunt and uncle. It's funny, my aunt and uncle had their CCW, but they'd never had any range time. Yeah, I'm like, what? So my brother-in-law, or not even my brother-in-law, my cousin, who's actually in the Army, National Guard, he and I were like, let's set up a shooting day. You know, took everybody out there, had a great time, awesome facilities. I love your rules are clearly posted for the range. Some ranges I've been to, they have range rules, but you have to read them before you go in, and there's no reminder once you get in there. Like, I love that you guys have them posted everywhere. I love that you've got really simple tools to help you focus on improving your skills. A lot of target selection that you guys have. It's really cool. Tell us about, though, your little laser indoor targeting practice ring. What do you call
simulator?
That? The simulator.
So,
That's so
training
cool.
simulator.
I didn't see that.
So what we've got, it's a simulator that was created by TI Training, a company out of Boulder, Colorado, and it has hundreds of different simulations, anywhere from cowboys and Indians, zombies, to real-life practical applications, carjackings, home invasions, even some military applications on there. Some shoot, don't shoot scenarios. I mean, if it exists, it's on that. It's on that. Simulator.
Rabid dog? Do you have rabid dog?
Yeah, we actually do have
dogs.
dogs.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
That's awesome. So, for any situation, you can actually get in there. Now, is it a live fire training, or what are we doing there?
It is not a live fire training. We do have some guns that you can rent that have a blowback kit in them, so when you pull the trigger, it actually feels like you're shooting the gun. It's got recoil.
Wow.
So it's an actual laser system.
Yeah, it's basically infrared lasers.
Okay, so it presents a scenario, like a video scenario in front of you, and you have a particular pistol that's has a laser light on it, and
so it's like Duck Hunt to the 100th, right? It's that much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyone that remembers that, you know, when you had to blow on your Nintendo cartridge to get it to play again, clear out your system. I mean, you guys just have a phenomenal setup. Everyone that I met that works there is just super friendly. And when I picked up my M&P, there was a few tears.
I was quite sad, yes.
Well,
that was my favorite gun.
I was going to say, with this laser system, you know, I've shot it, in the past, maybe like ones that actually use your handgun, use live rounds, but it's uses high-speed sensors.
Yes.
And that went away. I don't know, were those just troublesome? And then they switched to a laser, which is more reliable. I mean, do you know anything about that?
I know a little bit about that. Really, they went with the laser system just because it was more reliable. Easier for the computer, the cameras in there to pick up those infrared signals.
I mean, high-speed sensors shooting at a screen that the bullet passes through.
Correct.
Well, and this is also a lot safer. I mean,
yeah.
The nice thing is in a laser situation, you know, in this similar situation, I could take my mom, my dad, people that don't have handgun, experience.
That's true.
Walk them in there and get them comfortable before they ever walk into the range.
That's right, and that was one of the purposes of that system. You know, we could get kids in there that have never handled firearms and get them to safely understand how to use a firearm, as well as people that have never experienced shooting, never shot before. They're nervous. They don't want to go in there and do with the loud bang of of a live fire. So this one we can control the volume of the sound of the gun.
So you can actually control its volume level. You can. Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. So it has the sound of it. It has the laser, but it has the sound that accompanies that.
Correct.
Well, cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome simulator, and it's a lot of fun too. And now, ladies and gentlemen that are tuned in, the reason we're talking about this is, a lot of times you hear in the news it's bad to have a gun, especially from our POTUS. Everyone out there has an opinion on the Second Amendment. I am a firm believer, and I will always be, that the Second Amendment is not to be changed. I believe that we should all, if we're able to, and if we're trained, and we are respectful, should be carrying a sidearm.
Absolutely, and I think here in Utah we obviously have some really great laws, and we're really fortunate to live here in Utah to have basically shall issue concealed carry permit. And I think like the governor says, it works. Why change it? Although there was, through the last year or so, to go to a constitutional carry, and to where, okay, you don't need a permit, you don't need permission to carry, and I tend to agree with that rather than actually having a permit. Is that the Constitution itself is our permit, our permission to carry however we choose. Yeah, but it is working well here in Utah with what we have.
But I definitely think you need to be trained. I think
absolutely.
I get worried when people just go out and shoot in the wilderness and they're just like, oh look, a side of the hill, let's just go light it up. And they don't have rules. They don't have safety mechanisms to keep them safe. I mean, I love the Armory because you go in, it's a safe environment. You've got the ever watchful eye of your range masters to kind of help keep you on point, to correct you when you're making mistakes. But it's that kind of training and that kind of hands-on that I think everyone needs, especially as a new person to guns.
Absolutely.
It's not something you should be afraid of.
Especially when it comes down to handguns that require lots of practice, lots of training.
Looks like we got a caller. Let's see if we can take this one before we go into our first break. Hey, thanks for calling K-Talk. You're on the air.
Yes, the Second Amendment, great topic, gentlemen. The Second Amendment needs to be restored. We are a long ways in principle from where we should be.
Amen.
Absolutely, that's a great point.
There was the gun hate of 34 and 68. I mean, I think pretty sure those were pretty bad years for the Second Amendment. Even under Reagan, we had some real big problems after the Black Panthers showed up, sporting their arms. Again, nobody got hurt, nobody cared. The Black Panthers said, well, we're not going to take this abuse from the pigs, and we're going to patrol our own neighborhoods. That's great.
Well, and that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, that's our civic responsibility
really
in the first place.
And most people don't even think about that because we've been conditioned to say, oh, the police are the ones supposed to take care of us. Oh, the military is supposed to take care of us. We are responsible for ourselves.
That's right. You used to be able to buy a machine gun at Sears Roebuck, and I saw an ad for a suppressor back in the day. It was $3.
Wow, that's awesome. Now you got to go through so many stupid processes and paperwork.
And of course you can argue, okay, yeah, I see why we're not allowed to have machine guns or nuclear weapons, where...
Well, let's have that discussion.
Yeah.
What's wrong with a machine gun?
You're absolutely right. It requires more training, more practice. It's more costly. But no, you're absolutely right. There's no reason that we should not have the arms, the weapons that our military has. There really isn't.
No. It would be in every community's interest to teach gun safety in school, which they used to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the 40s, I mean, when did they stop that? In the late 50s? The 30s, 40s, 50s, they'd actually have a rifle training class as your PE course.
Yep.
And it blows me away that all you can get now is a golf class or free throw shooting. I mean, it's ridiculous. Thanks so much for your call. We got to take another caller.
Thank you.
No.
Hey, thanks for calling K-Talk. You're on air.
Yeah, wasn't there a legislator who was pushing for constitutional carry in the state of Utah?
There was and I don't remember all the facts, but it didn't pass, or the governor didn't sign it, but I think it passed through the House. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, there has been, and we need to, I think, keep trying on that and get us back to constitutional carry.
Yeah,
all right, we're heading into a break. Thanks for your call.
Yeah,
if you guys want to call in after the break, the number is 801-254-3717. 5855. Come back. All right, I'm going to pull us out of that break as quick as I can because this is a fun, hot topic. We're talking guns today. So with PrepperCon, we've got the theme: prepare, protect, survive, thrive. Today is our Protect Day. We do this every month. Every second Wednesday is our Prepare Day, or our Protect Day. Sorry. Our in-studio guest. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. We've got Brian with the Armory. You probably heard his commercial during the break. But we're really excited to be here. Today we're going to talk a little bit right now about what type of weapon to carry, what type of concealed, if you've got your concealed carry weapons permit, that entitles you to carry a concealed weapon. Whether that's a big knife, or as I like to refer, a gun and a knife.
Mm-hmm. Or two guns.
Or two guns. Or 17 guns on your person might be a little overboard, but I'm not going to judge.
You can move around.
So I want to get your opinion. You sell a ton of guns, and you've got Shane and I have our own opinions, and we like to argue about it all the time. But tell us, Brian, what would you say are your top 5 concealed carry weapons that you sell or that you prefer?
Okay, well, before I get into that, I think the number one rule with finding a concealed gun, or any gun for that matter, is making sure that you are comfortable with that gun. My favorite concealed gun might not be your favorite concealed gun.
Absolutely.
We got to make sure that you get all the facts or get as many opinions as you can on those guns, and then trying them out for yourself.
And I guess that's why you have rentals too, so you can go in and actually shoot those guns.
Absolutely.
Which is super important.
So I guess getting into, I'm going to go with, again, that's my personal favorites, and the ones that are most popular in our store.
Please do.
The number one most popular one is the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield.
The Shield. That's what would have been my guess. That was your number one concealed carry. So you're selling.
Why do you think that one sells so good, or why do you think it's so popular with the people?
The ergonomics on it, it's a great little gun. The size of it, the trigger pull is fantastic. It's just the right size for people, where it's not too big, not too small on there, and then also the price point on it is very good.
Yeah, some of these pocket pistols get just way too small, whereas that Shield is definitely manageable size. It's kind of like the cell phone issue. Cell phones got so small to where you could barely hold them, and then they started to get bigger. Yeah. And so that's what I compare it to.
Yep. Now they're getting ridiculously big.
Yep.
So the Shield. Now, what do you carry personally?
I carry a SIG P238.
That's a beautiful gun.
It is. That's a great all metal gun.
I bought one of those for my wife. We went shooting, and man, this is a long time ago. We went shooting, and she's like, "Yeah, we need to get our permits." At first, when I moved to Utah, my wife was like, "Well, I really don't want guns in the house." At the time, I didn't have any guns. I'd just come from California, where I was like, it's such a pain. And I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with it until I move, because I didn't want to stay there. Get here, and I'm like, okay. Get married, I'm like, I'm getting guns. And she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, now I've got I wouldn't say it's an arsenal. I've got a nice little collection. But she bought me my first handgun after I got my CCW.
Awesome.
And then I kept telling her, let's go get your CCW.
I've had to buy all my own guns.
I ended up buying her a P238 because that's the one that she loved when we went to the range. And it's super small. It's super comfortable to shoot. The trigger pull is fantastic. It's great for both men and women. For people with small grips and large grips. I mean, you're going to have finger carryover issues with any gun you look at that's compact. But it's just a comfortable.
And we can talk about action too. It's a double action, single action, which we can get into that later. But let's get on with your list.
My list. It's great, but she wouldn't carry because she didn't have her CCW yet, and so I was carrying that one. And I carry a Ruger LC9, and I'm like, when she got her permit, I was like, dang it, I've got to give her gun back. It's such a fun gun.
Yeah. All right, we're going on.
It is a fun gun. So another one that I really like, and I'm going to kind of class them together, is the new Glock 42.
Okay.
And the Glock 43.
And the 380.
Yeah, the 380 and then the 9mm and the 43.
43, yeah.
Those are great little guns.
Are those both the same size?
The
43 is a little larger?
43 is a little bit larger than the 42. They're both great guns. I mean, with Glocks, you really can't go wrong. They're very durable.
26, 27, you're getting more full-size frame. They're not really a pocket pistol.
A lot of people, because of the 42 coming out and the 43, they're moving to those. They like the single stack option.
Because they're thinner, easier to conceal, I guess.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So why do you like these smaller guns, or why do these smaller guns sell so well, do you think?
Well, I think a lot of people want to have the concealed guns. A lot of people are nervous about people going out having a gun on their hip, or having an AK or an AR strapped to their chest or their back.
Right.
They want to be able to protect themselves without anyone else really knowing that they have it. Either just for personal reasons, making sure that people aren't aware.
So it's kind of
what they have. They're just protecting themselves without causing really a scare or weirding people out, because we live in a culture where guns are evil, and if you're carrying it concealed, no one's
Yeah,
gonna
you don't have
know,
to deal with
and
that
you don't
aspect, that issue.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, obviously open carry is legal in Utah, and you don't have to have a permit for it. But it's not necessarily a smart thing to do.
Right. It draws too much attention, I think, when you're open carrying. Especially when, like, if I'm out in Tooele, open carrying, totally awesome.
Yeah,
because
you're out in the
everyone likes
sticks
it, right? Most of the smaller towns, it's more natural. If I'm open carrying at Walmart, everybody around me is freaking out.
Walmart will kick you out too. They don't want you in there. Open
Well,
carry.
they didn't kick me out.
No. Yeah, I've just seen lots of
So,
examples.
but yeah, you're going to run across those challenges. But, for me, I like, as Shane likes to call them, the little pocket pistols.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're great. He gets on my case saying that they're not tactical and you're not a skill-driven, I don't even know whatchamacallit. he tries to bust my chops, but here's my argument. And you guys chime in if you've got something to say about, the size of the gun, calibers, whatever you want to talk about. That's what we're open to today. But I love carrying a pocket pistol. It's easy to conceal. I do real estate. Sometimes I have to dress really nice. It's easy to conceal there. Sometimes I get to wear a t-shirt and jeans like I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy to conceal. And I have a larger handgun. I've got my M&P. It's a full size. For different
Not so
purposes.
easy to
I
conceal,
love. I can conceal it if I'm wearing an overcoat. But different types of guns for different types of purposes. But when it's your daily carry, I think the smaller, the less conspicuous, the better. Purely because your goal is to never use it.
And, and you're absolutely right there. My counter argument to that is you want to go with as large a gun as you can get away with in concealed carrying. So say you've got these little pocket pistols. You can pretty much put that anywhere. You can put it in a pocket. You can put it in your back pocket, front pocket. You can put it in a holster on your belt, inside your waistband. And yeah, nobody's going to see it under most circumstances, except maybe if you lift up your shirt. With a more full size, like an XD subcompact or an M&P compact, they are more of a full size frame, but with a shorter grip, shorter barrel, which then makes it a little bit easier to conceal, a little bit lighter. But you do have to dress accordingly. You can't necessarily wear a dress or wear maybe a suit, depending on what your work is, how you have to dress for your employment. Is probably how you're going to have to choose your gun. My argument is, in most cases, you can adjust your dress to accommodate the right weapon for you. And a pocket pistol may not be the right weapon for you, but it might be. So it's very personal preference.
Yeah, but what's your other argument? This is bunk. I want to hear your other argument. I think our listeners...
Oh, the one that you were talking about there.
I'm waiting for this fanatical...
The reason
crazy.
I don't like pocket pistols is they aren't any fun to shoot. There's one list right there, one item. They aren't any fun to shoot.
They're fun to shoot.
I'm disagreeing. I don't like shooting them. They're not as easy to manipulate. They're too small. If you go toward it, now, when you're learning to shoot a pistol, when you're learning to carry a pistol, there's a lot of stages.
You're loud. You're
really
loud.
Too loud. Okay, I'm talking too loud, so I'll back up a little bit. Sorry about that.
He's getting hangry. He's probably hungry too.
No, I'm actually pretty good. But no, so there's stages. So let me try to tell you a little bit about my experience. When I first got my concealed weapons permit, it's been about 15 years. I carried kind of a pocket pistol. I only carried it occasionally. And then maybe about 5 years later, I started to carry every day, but I didn't carry one chambered. And then about 5 years later, for me it was a long process of learning really how to manipulate, how to shoot. I mean, really everything. And the reason why I started with a pocket pistol versus a revolver versus a striker fire full-size pistol, and for me it's just through my experiences. As I carried these smaller ones, I didn't realize, this isn't any fun to shoot. I'm not very accurate with it. It requires more practice because it's a longer trigger pull. And I realized, well, because of the way I dress, I can carry a bigger gun. You know, I can have the right belt on, I can have the right holster, which is all super important. Of course, you guys chime in here too. Holsters. I mean, that's a huge topic there too.
I think we've got a guy chime in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right now. Let's see what we got. We got a caller. Hey, caller, thanks for calling in.
Problem with the phone system.
There we go. Fun phones. You there?
Anyway, while we're figuring out this caller, we've got this problem with the phone systems again. But so, as I was saying, it's kind of a process. I didn't always carry chambered. I do now, and we could talk about that. That's a whole other topic we could talk about. But it's an evolution, and I think everybody has to go through that process to figure out, okay, what's the right gun for me? How do I carry? What's the best way to carry? Do I carry it on my person? Do I carry it in the bag? And I think it's very personal at that point.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you.
So my reason for wanting a more full-size pistol is for really a lot of reasons. I can be more accurate with it. I can have more fun with it at the range. I can actually go out and compete with it. And that all improves my skill to be able to better defend myself.
Okay. Blah, blah, blah.
Whatever.
He's going to say the same thing about my argument.
See how personal it is. How the choice is just so, and that's why there's so many different models out there.
And I think that's why it goes back to what what Brian was saying. Each person's going to have a different preference, right?
Yep.
You know, why do you carry what you carry?
Because I wanted something that was a little bit smaller. So my first concealed carry gun was a Springfield XDS.
Okay.
It's a great gun. I love it.
In a
I still have
compact
it.
or in the full size?
The compact.
Okay, the XDS.
Yeah, the XDS.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a single stack.
is a compact.
Yeah,
It is
3.3 inch barrel on there. I loved it, but really I wanted something that
Still a little too
was
big.
smaller. Yeah, I wanted something that I could literally throw in my pocket and go. Concealing the XDS for me just wasn't the right fit. So that's why I went smaller.
So it really comes down to mindset.
Yes.
Well, see, like I carry a full size when I'm out camping, and I carry an open carry. You know, I want to be able to pull it quicker if I need it. I carry a compact, a pocket pistol. I'm throwing up the bunny ear quotes, guys. Pocket pistol. When it's necessary to have a smaller firearm, I carry it. But I enjoy shooting both. I like to get proficient at both. I like to get proficient at as many guns as possible because you never know when you're going to have to use another size caliber or another size handgun.
Yeah. And I can argue that too. I got my arguments. We've got a caller here calling.
All right, let's
we'll
bring
give
him
this
on
a
this
try.
time. Oh,
Yep. There we go.
all right, caller, are you there?
Yes.
Awesome, you're on air with us.
Oh, great. Yeah, I enjoy your discussion.
Thanks.
I'm not sure which one was the one that was claiming that it's a process.
That's me.
That would be Shane. And I disagree with him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the same thing happened to me. I was carry, and I carry without one in the chamber, and and then, but I have a hard time. I'm a real small guy, so
Okay.
I had a real hard time finding a weapon to fit me, that without poking me, and so I finally went with one of those little LCPs, and then those little pocket pistols that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But after using that and stuff, because it wouldn't allow me to use hollow point ammo or anything consistently.
Okay.
It didn't speak it well. So I finally didn't get rid of it. I still have it, but I went with an LCR.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great one.
Nice gun.
Well, the only I lose a couple of rounds. And I did get the 357, but
Awesome.
because it's so light, you feel like you've just been hit with the taser. So.
Right. I think the LCR is an awesome choice, and that's what I would choose for my wife or my daughters because it is so simple. It's point and shoot, and it's.
I don't want because if I use that, I mean it's going to be, I'm going to need it to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I went with the LCR with the laser. The only thing is I do use 38 through it just because the 357 just is, but it's
It's brutal. Yeah, and a small pistol like that, just training with that, with the 357, yeah, you shoot maybe a dozen or 2 rounds through your hands, feeling it.
So for those that are listening, we're talking about a lot of numbers. You hear a lot of numbers on,
Model
and weird
numbers
designations, calibers and whatnot. Shane, what is an LCR, real quick?
Ruger LCR, lightweight compact revolver.
Yeah.
So it's lightweight, meant for concealed carry. It's hammerless, so it doesn't snag on your clothes. And I think it's an excellent option. Again, it comes down to personal preference, whether you want a revolver or you want semi-automatic.
Well, the nice thing about revolvers is there's less chance of a problem.
Yep.
If you do have a misfire, you just pull the trigger again.
It's not going to
It
jam.
rotates. Yeah, you don't have any jam issues. Whereas a regular, as a semi-automatic, it's got a slide. If it jams, you got to clear it.
You have to learn how to clear. You have to be proficient at clearing it, and that all takes practice. And that's another one of my arguments: is having a full size is much easier to deal with those types of issues than having a pocket pistol.
Whereas I think if you train, you can overcome
Well,
it.
that too.
With anything,
But,
though.
Hey, thanks so much for your call.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
consideration though is
Oh, we got more.
clothing in the winter.
Yep.
That you a small caliber, you've got to get through the clothing. So that's the only thing about you. So I like when you said use the biggest one you can, because that is an issue. It's because in the winter here when we have such a long winter,
Yeah.
if someone's wearing heavy clothing, it may not, it may not be as effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you
Great
so
points.
much. We're running into a break. We'll be right back with K-Talk Radio. Woohoo! All right, guys, we are back. We're PrepperCon Radio at K-Talk. That's AM 630. We've got our in-studio guest today, Brian from the Armory. We're talking guns. We're having some fun. This last segment, we got about 18 minutes to go. Kind of want to talk about long rifles, guns. Not your handguns. Let's talk about the long guns. That's shotguns. That's rifles of all the different types. ARs. What are the better guns for prepping? What do you guys? What are your opinions? I've got a few different guns. We'll talk about those. But what do you think every prepper should have?
You want to start this out, or you?
You can go for it.
Well, of course, I always have my opinion, but I think
Pull the trigger. Come on.
yeah, the number one prepper gun, the very first gun you should have as a prepper, should be a handgun. Some people will say maybe a .22 rifle, whatever. And we'll get into that, and that's on my list. But I think the number one gun you need to have is a handgun because you can always have it on you.
Okay, we're jumping to long guns. Let's focus on long.
Well, yes, long
What part
guns.
of long guns did you not
Well, we did talk
understand?
about. We said prepper guns.
We're
I'm gonna
talking about long guns for preppers.
Right. Okay. So
Come on.
first one.
Stay with me.
First gun you need to have is a handgun. Second gun.
Okay.
Second gun that, my opinion, you need to have, and this is going to vary wildly depending on who you talk to. Shotgun, .22, AR-15. Those are on the list, but what do you think? What do you guys think would be your second choice, or first choice since you're talking long guns, right?
Okay, so not the handgun.
Right.
I agree with you on the handgun. I think probably the second choice would be a shotgun.
Okay.
And really that, again, would be for your home defense, self-defense, things like that. But then right after that, it would be a rifle. Maybe an AR-15 would be a good one. An AR-10.
Yeah.
Getting into a bigger one. Really for prepping, things like that. I mean, if things go bad, you no longer have your grocery store that you got to go into to get your food. I mean, we're going to have to be hunting. And really with that, you're going to want sort of a larger caliber.
Right.
And in my opinion, you're going to want, a 308,
So let's talk about
6.5 Creedmoor, something like that.
Yeah, let's talk about shotgun for home defense. We talk about bugging out, we talk about bugging in.
Well, here's why I like shotgun for home defense. I mean, your pistol, not really ideal for home defense situation. Both of them are going to be absolutely loud and obnoxious.
Other than you have it
But the
on you
reality
all the time.
is in any shooting situation, you need to know what's past your target.
Yep.
Where's that bullet going to go? And in a residential situation, your handgun, it's not going to stop at the wall.
Unless
9
you-
times out of 10.
Depending on the round that you have. If you have a nice
Most of the homes in
hollow point-
Utah, they're
well,
garbage.
yeah, they are garbage.
There's a little insulation, there's a siding on the outside and drywall on the inside. That's the majority of the homes.
Was that
And if
plywood?
it's stucco, then you got styrofoam, and then a little bit of dirt. That's really what stucco is. It's a little bit of concrete dirt. But it's not enough to be really, really safe.
So you're saying that the shotgun is not going to penetrate?
Penetration, it's going to die a lot faster. It's going to drop quicker. But it's also going to have a bigger area of impact when it does hit. So you're going to have a larger damage area. But if the challenge, or the accidental situation where that's going to travel out of your house, into your neighbor's house,
Is lower.
into a neighbor, your neighbor's kid's bedroom, the chances go just infinitely down.
Yeah, you're absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. But I think the key is to choose the right ammunition.
Right.
Now, if you're using it in a home defense situation, whether it's a shotgun, some people think an AR-15 is the best home defense rifle. Some people think a handgun is. And again, it's really personal preference. It depends. And you do have to think beyond, okay, if I have an intruder at my front door, what's beyond that?
Absolutely.
That target. So if you're using the right ammunition, it very well would stay inside your house. It would fragment and take all the energy away inside the house, or at least lose most of it before it leaves the house, if you're using the right ammunition.
Absolutely. And the other thing I like about the shotgun is it's multi-purpose. I mean, you can use it for home defense. Like Mossberg has, some great guns that have interchangeable barrel right when you buy it. The Mossberg 500, boom, you've got two barrels, a long and a short.
Yep.
Keep the short in around home when you're ready to go hunting.
Yep, throw the long barrel on.
Throw the long barrel on,
Absolutely.
and now you're bringing home duck for dinner.
Fantastic choice, absolutely.
And I love, that's one of the things I love about that. Everybody's going to have a different preference, and you guys listening, please chime in with your comments on this. But home defense could be 100 different ways, but in general, I like my first choice is going to be a shotgun. Second choice, I kind of lean towards either the 22 or the AR. I'm kind of 50-50 on both because they both have great uses. Neither of them are fully auto, so that's the challenge that we have is governmental control as it is doesn't allow us to just go pick one of those up as easily.
And what I love about the shotgun for home defense is it is absolutely devastating. If you want to stop your target, a single shot does it. With a handgun, not going to do it. You'd have to get a rifle caliber or a shotgun, and that will stop your target first shot, especially with the right ammunition.
Absolutely. And the thing I like about going on to the next phase of guns, I mean, a 22 you can use that for small game all day long.
Yep.
It's great, and it's quiet. It's something you can teach your kids on. I think that is before you get into a 308. You get a 30-06, all the big fun stuff. It's good.
We love recoil, but
yeah, it's good to understand all the components of your gun. It's great to learn on a 22 because it's so versatile, but it's also easy to learn.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It's quick, right? And that transitions to anything else. We got a caller. Let's go ahead and take him on. Hey, you're on K-Talk.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, you know what I like about a shotgun? When you put a shell into the chamber, it's the universal language.
yeah. So you're talking about the sound of racking the shotgun, making that sound, and people scattering at the sound of the shotgun racking.
Game's almost over.
That is your 2-minute warning. I do agree with that. I think a lot of times that is enough of a deterrent to de-escalate a situation.
And we could argue about that as well. Is you really should have your weapon chambered before that point. So if you know there's an intruder coming into the house, you need to chamber your weapon even before he hears it. So stealth is, this can definitely be argued. This is a great topic to argue about as well. Is do you wait until they can hear the sound of the round chambering, or do you have it chambered already and don't take a chance at not having a round in your shotgun?
You can have it chambered and then kick one out.
That's true. That's true. You can always kick one out and just make the noise.
I remember when I was when my parents got divorced. I was living in Preston, Idaho, and me and my uncle Chuck. He was uncle to marriage. Anyways, we would hunt all the way to school, and then unload our weapons, and then hunt all the way back home.
Times have changed. My goodness.
Yeah, nowadays if we tried that, we'd all be in jail.
No kidding.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
But, I think weapons are a good thing for us, so that we can protect ourselves from any invaders.
Any,
Absolutely.
Thank you for your call. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So let's go back to the 22 discussion, if you want, Scott.
Please.
Anyway, so yeah, 22. My first experience shooting was with Ruger 10 22, and I think that's the best all-around rifle for preppers. Period. Of course, you could talk AR-15, AR-10. What do you think?
Well, I agree. The 22 rifle it's a good rifle. It's really good to learn on. Like you said, teaching your children how to do it, hunting a small game. But my opinion is with the 22, number one, the availability of ammo is still
I hate that.
really hard to get
yeah.
some. But for me, other than the training aspect, I would want to go with a larger caliber. You know, your AR-15s, your 223s, your 308s. But again, different gun, different caliber for a different purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I have a Ruger 1022 takedown. Take that apart, put it in my backpack. Nobody ever sees it.
What that means is the actual barrel twist. You've got a lock. You twist it. The whole barrel, front end, comes right off, and you can slide it into your backpack. I've got one of those too. It's awesome. But I do agree. 22 is a very limited gun. I mean, it's great for training, great for small game, but after that, nothing. And this is also where, preppers get this weird, oh, they hoard ammunition. Well, with a 22, you have to. If you have a 22, you know the pain. If you see them on sale, you're racing everyone else to get to the store to buy them.
Plus, you can go through 22 so fast.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just you're plinking out nickels left and right. The other thing is with the 22 ammo, it's like, for example, I was on Cheaper Than Dirt the other day, and I was like, oh, sweet, they have a sale on, and it wasn't 22 rounds, it was 223, so for my AR. And I was like, sweet, and I just got the email, and I logged in, less than 3 minutes later onto their website, they were already sold out.
Oh, yeah.
That's happened to me on 22 ammo, 223 ammo, 5.56 ammo, like whenever there's like a good deal, a special somewhere, boom, they're gone.
You have to be diligent to find 22 ammo. You've got to know where to go, what time, and stick to it.
Absolutely.
But anyway, I think 22 is underrated. I know you're saying, okay, it has limited use.
I'm not saying that I'm saying it's a great gun.
And you need to have it. As a prepper, it is definitely on the top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
You can use it in so many different ways. But I definitely think that as soon as you cross the threshold into a medium-sized game and larger, if you're hunting, you need something bigger. If it's major home protection, like neighborhood protection, And the other thing is lone wolfing it. I hear some of the guys are like, oh yeah, I've got my arsenal, I'm good. Reality is you need a group of people that's equally trained that you can work together with
community
in a survival situation. I'm talking like apocalyptic survival scenario.
Yeah.
Walking Dead, they've got a group, and that's how they're still alive. Even though they're not smart enough to hear the zombie when it's 30 feet away moaning, and you can run people. Get out of the situation first before you have to choose to fire. If you can de-escalate a situation first. But I think absolutely my third gun is an AR.
Okay.
I would love to go fully auto. I'd love to get some other stuff, but I love it that it's versatile enough that I could go hunting certain animals. But it's also great for home protection. And it's also really fun to shoot.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm not going to sit here and pander to people and say, oh yeah, guns are for one purpose only. They're fun to shoot. I'd rather go shooting than play golf now. Yeah. And that used to be opposite for me. I choose now to do hobbies that are, for me, more fun. I'm not getting any younger. And so, of course, I'm going to go shoot rather than knock a ball around and lose it.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people could argue if choose the one gun, it would be an AR-15 because it's so multi-purpose and so customizable, and the ammo is not terribly heavy compared to like 308, but still a lot heavier than 22. AR-15 is absolutely. Everybody needs to have. Every prepper. Let me revise that. Every prepper needs to have handgun, shotgun, 12 gauge, 22 rifle, Ruger 1022 if you ask me, and an AR-15.
No bias there.
No, none whatsoever. And then some type of 308.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're really going to want to use that 308 or something larger for larger game if it comes down to that.
Yep.
So.
And you could hunt with your shotgun with slugs.
Absolutely.
The long barrel.
Okay, so since I'm not a hunter yet, I just finished the online portion of the hunter safety. I want to go duck hunting. I want to try big game. Are you a hunter?
I want to be. I haven't hunted since, oh geez, I was a teenager.
So one of the things I've learned is that there's different types of rounds, different calibers you can use during different hunting seasons for different game. And I want to make that very clear to listeners that don't hunt. You need to know what you're doing before you go out there. You know, I've seen a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people tell stories of, oh yeah, someone got shot because someone else wasn't paying attention. You know, number one, first and foremost, with all things guns, is safety. Number two, goes right along with safety, is awareness. Knowing what you're shooting at, what's beyond it, you know, making sure you're not just firing into the wind. It is our responsibility as citizens, every one of us, it's our responsibility to make sure that we're wise with our gun purchase, wise with how we carry it, trained, continually training, because yeah, it's like a bicycle. You can get back on and you can pull the trigger, it's the same, but you're not going to be as good as you were if you stay consistent and you practice. You know, the skills that we don't practice are the skills that we lose.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with this, but it is a very serious topic.
Absolutely. Keep your guns in a safe place. I mean, do you guys have safes that you sell?
We've got little smaller safes that we sell. Yeah, little cabinets, you know, things you can stick on your desk in a drawer type of thing. But yeah, absolutely get a larger safe for all of your handguns or you know, all of your guns.
Particularly if you have kids in your home.
Absolutely.
And teach them how to be safe with it as well. That was what will keep them safe the most.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in this week. This is the end of the hour. Thank you for listening to PrepperCon Radio, and stay safe out there.
Thanks for coming, Brian. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.